All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome back for another deep dive.
Yeah.
If you've been following along and kind of like getting your hands dirty with some of this coding stuff, you've probably run into functions by now.
Yeah, absolutely.
That cool on mouse press thing we can use like to make things happen when we click and
Yeah, and how to store information like with variables.
right, exactly. And we can't forget about on mouse release.
Right. You got to know when the click ends. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So in this deep dive, we're really going to kind of take those ideas and those concepts and connect them to something that's a little bit more visual.
Yeah, we're going to look at how we can make shapes actually change on the screen.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's super fun. And we're drawing from materials that are really designed to help kind of solidify these concepts in your mind.
Yeah, so I guess you could think about like our mission for this deep dive is really to understand how we can, we've got all these characteristics of these shapes,
Right.
like we call them properties and how we can actually start tweaking those using the code that we're learning. So it goes way beyond just like picking, the starting color.
Totally.
Okay.
All right. So let's jump into it.
Yeah, let's jump right in.
So, shapes have different attributes, right? And you've probably used fill to set their color, but there's a whole bunch of other properties that we can work with. And a really intuitive place to start is with where the shape's located on the screen.
That makes sense. It's all about position.
Exactly.
Yeah, and in code, we've got these like very specific properties that tell us where a shape is. We've got like left, right, top, bottom.
Yep.
And then these ones that refer to the center, so center X and center Y.
That's right. And what's interesting is how each of these defines the shape's location. The position properties demo code really shows this distinction.
Yeah.
You see those three rectangles, the maroon one, the navy, and the gold one. Oh, yeah, I remember those. And like when you click the mouse, in that example, each one kind of moves differently.
Yeah.
The maroon rectangle is kind of like dragging its bottom right corner to wherever I click my mouse. And then the navy one, it's like the very center point of it jumps right to where I click. And the gold one, it moves its top left corner to the mouse.
Exactly. So even though the mouse click is the same, the different properties we're changing led to really different movements.
Right.
And, that allows you to create different feels for how you interact with objects on the screen.
Yeah.
For example, if you wanted someone to grab an object right in the middle, manipulating center X and center Y would feel the most natural.
Yeah. That's a really helpful way to think about it. And there was a quick check in there, too, that was just kind of reminding us that, while width and height tell us how big a shape is, those aren't about its location.
Yeah.
Those are defining its size. Right. So now that we've seen how to move a shape around, the next thing you'd probably want to do is change its size.
Okay.
And the properties for that are simply width and height.
So the size properties demo makes this super clear.
Yeah.
You start with this blue square that's, 100 pixels by 100 pixels. And then as I click and drag my mouse, the rectangle stretches or squishes based on where my mouse is.
That's right.
So as my mouse goes to the right, the mouse X value is getting bigger.
Yeah.
And that directly increases the rectangle's width.
Exactly.
And if I move down, the mouse Y is increasing, and that's what makes the height grow. So it's like a very direct way to control those dimensions.
Absolutely. Okay, so we've talked about how to move them around.
Yeah.
We've talked about how to change their size. What else can we do with these shape properties?
All right, let's hear it.
Let's talk about how shapes are initially placed using the align property. Now, this one is a little different because, and this is really important, you can only set the align property when you first create the shape.
Oh.
It's like setting its initial anchor point.
Gotcha. So it's like I'm deciding, okay, which part of this shape is going to be at the coordinates that I specify when I first draw it.
Exactly.
And the examples show this really well. In Align Property Demo, #1, there were these 5 rectangles.
Yep.
And they were all starting at the same spot. But they like appeared in different places because their align was set differently.
That's right.
Like left top, right bottom, or center.
Precisely. Think of it like hanging a picture on the wall.
Okay.
The coordinates are where you put the nail. The align property is like choosing if you want the top left corner of the frame, the very center, or some other point to be right on that nail.
That makes sense.
It's like you're setting the initial orientation, and it probably helps the system manage layout more efficiently without having to recalculate the fundamental anchor point all the time.
Right. It's just set once, and then, it's good to go.
Exactly.
And the materials were very clear with Align Property Demo #3. Like you can't just change a line after the shape's made.
Right.
The code was trying to do that inside that onMousePress function, and it gave this error message.
Yeah, you can't get or set the align property, but we can only use it when we first create the shape.
Right, so one-time thing at creation, and then it's locked in.
That's like a key thing to remember. Now let's switch gears a little bit
Right.
and look at how we can control what these shapes actually look like. They're inside and they're outside.
So this is where we get to play with like colors and outlines.
Yes, this is where it's fun.
Yeah. So the properties here are like, fill for the inside color, border for the outline color, border width to make that outline thicker or thinner.
Right.
We got opacity to make it see-through.
Yes.
And even like dashes, if you wanted to do like a dotted or dashed line.
You got it. And the fill-in border properties demo really shows this off. You start with this gold rectangle that has a navy blue outline.
Okay.
And then with a single mouse click, its fill color switches to navy. The border becomes gold, the border width gets thicker, the dashes disappear, and it becomes semi-transparent with an opacity of 50.
Wow. That's a big makeover with just one click.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It's really cool what you can do with just a few lines of code.
Yeah, and the checkpoint there was reminding us that while we can like get really fancy with how we define colors later on, like using gradients or specific RGB values, that those aren't like the basic, fill-in border properties that we're talking about right now.
That's right. And beyond just where they are, how big they are, and how they look,
right,
there are even more ways to play with our shapes.
Oh, okay.
The materials touched on a couple of other properties like rotate, angle, and visible.
Oh, those sound fun. So the other properties demo showed how you could make a shape completely disappear.
Yeah.
By setting its visible property to false. And you could even make shapes spin using rotate angle.
Yeah, that's a fun one.
In that example, the blue rectangle's rotate angle increased every time I clicked. So it was spinning clockwise. But the green one, its rotate angle was decreasing each time I clicked. So it was going counterclockwise.
Exactly. So to answer that checkpoint question, the green rectangle R3 was the one turning counterclockwise.
Okay, gotcha. So, we're seeing how to change these properties when we click the mouse. But like, what if we want to make those changes happen like bit by bit or, by like a specific amount each time?
That's where these really useful shorthand operators come into play. You've got plus equals to add to a property's value, minus equals to subtract, times equals to multiply, and divide equals to divide.
Gotcha.
They're just a more efficient way of writing code. For example, writing x plus equals 5 is the exact same as writing x equals x plus 5.
Right. It's just like a little shortcut.
Yeah, exactly. The changing properties demo illustrates this really nicely.
Right.
There was a gold rectangle whose center X increased by 10 pixels every time you clicked, so it's steadily moving to the right. And a navy rectangle whose center Y decreased by 10 pixels with each click, making it move upward.
So just like these little incremental changes.
Yeah, it allows for those smooth transitions.
Yeah.
And the final checkpoint asked what would happen if you changed r1.centerx plus equals 10 to r1.centerx minus equals 10.
Oh, okay.
And the answer is pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Instead of moving to the right, the gold rectangle would move to the left with each click.
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
So when we kind of like put this all together, what's the main thing that you should take away from all this?
The big picture is that by using functions like onMousePress, combined with the information we get about the mouse position, like mouse is X and mouse Y, and these various properties that define our shapes, you have so much control over creating dynamic and interactive things right on your screen.
Absolutely. You can make shapes move smoothly, grow and shrink, change how they look, with different colors and outlines, even rotate or vanish, all based on simple actions like a mouse click.
Yeah, and it's this ability to change these properties in response to what the user does that makes interactive graphics so engaging and powerful.
Yeah, it just brings it to life.
So here's something to really think about.
Okay.
Now that you can change these individual properties when someone clicks,
right?
How could you combine these ideas? Could you make a single click cause multiple properties to change at the same time? Or maybe use a variable to decide how much a property changes with each click. There's so much room to experiment and come up with really cool interactive experiences.
Right, just by taking these fundamental concepts and combining them in different ways.
Exactly. Have fun with it.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Absolutely.
It's been awesome having you on for this deep dive. And
yeah, thanks for having me.
yeah, we'll see you all next time.
See you later.
Bye.